Welcome back to another episode of My Gaming History. As you can probably tell from the title, today we are diving into what I consider the best Contra game of all time. Okay, maybe not the absolute best, but it's definitely in top 3. Alright, fine, top 3 Contra games on the NES. Here's the kicker, this is actually a Contra game that isn't really a Contra game. How can a Contra game not be a Contra game, you ask? Well, let me tell you. The year is 92, Super Nintendo is out, and Contra 3 for the NES, widely considered by many to be the greatest Contra game ever, is making waves. But then the brilliant minds of Konami had a thought, hey, a lot of people still own an NES. We should give them something to milk that sweet Contra name a little more. So they stumbled upon a game in development called Akuhondo, Arcount, and decided, Eureka! Let's just slap a Contra name on it. Genius, right? It's a run and gun. What could possibly go wrong? Well, they thought they could get away with it super cheap, but it turned out the game was actually pretty demanding for the NES. It needed mappers, optimization, all sorts of tweaks. And who has time to do that, right? And that's why we have the famous Slowdown. Konami always innovating. How to save a buck. I bet their brainstorming session went something like this. Less frame means more money. Brilliant! Give this man a rise. But a small one. We are cutting costs here. Man, Slowdown. It hits you right from the first minute until the very end. It's a real shame because underneath all the choppiness, it's actually a pretty decent game. Thankfully today, thanks to the incredible video game enthusiasts, hackers and programmers, you can find optimized version that runs flawlessly and are a true joy to play. But let's rewind to the original version. My first encounter with this game was sometime around 98. I'm not entirely sure of the exact year, but it was in that ballpark. And of course, I wasn't playing on the original NES, but on a Famicom. A friend of mine who lived 2 floors above me in the building got this game and we just played it non-stop. The notorious Slowdown, man, for us it wasn't a bug, it was a feature. It was like bullet time before bullet time even existed. We just learned to use it to our advantage. And I almost forgot to mention, in this game you have 4 characters you can swap between at any time. Burns, Iron, Smith and Beans. Each has their own strengths and weaknesses. Now, the version we had on those legendary yellow fit discs, they had different names like Rambo and honestly I don't remember the others. Unlike classic Contra game where everyone shared the same weapon, here each character has a different weapon that you can upgrade by collecting briefcases. Get her enough and you unlock a power-up. Since you can switch characters at any time, you can play with one and use others just to collect these briefcases and power up to the max. So yeah, it involves a lot of grinding. There are few spots where you can max out your character and only for someone to take it out like 10 seconds later. And all that farming goes to waste. Yeah, good game. Another cool feature, if you're playing solo and you hit a tough spot, you can summon a second character to help you out for about 5 seconds. You can even decide whether they go in front or behind you depending on your attack strategy. And when playing with a friend, coordination is a key. Knowing where and when to jump and how, of course, is super important because there are few places where you can easily lose lives. What else is important? Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that you are not fighting aliens anymore. Instead, you're up against criminal organization with the best name ever. Are you ready for this? The NME. Get it? The Enemy, man! 10 out of 10 for the name. Seriously. There's one really important thing about this game for me and my friend. When we got to the 3rd level, to the famous Chaos, we just couldn't go any further. The game would simply stop there. We did rush and get stuck, or just stand there helplessly because we couldn't activate the big box to drop and launch us. So we figured out that we were beating the game because there was nothing left to do. We tried everything. And yes, our childhood logic was impeccable. If the game stops, you won. It makes perfect sense. Any game that doesn't let you progress is obviously a game you defeated. We were just too good for it. The game couldn't handle our raw talent. Later my friend got a different version that actually let you progress, and he started telling me about all these other levels. And of course I had to get my hands on that correct version and finally beat everything. If you want to see me play through all those levels, smash that like button and share this video. If this video gets 5k views, I'll record myself beating the game and even share some tricks to make it easier. Like if you jump, then press start, and then start and jump again, you will do a double jump. Yeah. So what can I say in the end? I honestly think this game has some potential, so many good ideas, but unfortunately Konami decided to cut corners, and that's how we got the infamous Slowdown. And it wasn't the first time they chipped out. Even the first Contra for the Japanese market looked better than the version released elsewhere. If you never played the Japanese version, you probably wouldn't notice any issues with the one we got, but the slowdown in this Contra Force is definitely noticeable. If you can look past that, it's a perfectly fine game. It's not a classic Contra, as I said. They just took the game that was already in development and slapped a new name on it. But as far as I'm concerned, I'd recommend it to everyone. It's a perfectly good game. If you haven't played it, definitely give it a try, you got nothing to lose. And if you have, give it another chance. For me, this game brings back so many memories of those old days when my friend and I would play on our Famiclones without a care in the world. For that alone, it's a brilliant game. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, hit that like button. It really helps the channel, and if you know someone who remembers the legendary slowdown in this game, be sure to share this with them. That's it for now, see you in the next video, and until then, don't forget to keep on